what you already have. That means that you want to promote. That means you want to make more money, because if you were comfortable, you wouldn't jump on the Zoom tonight. And so I love that you did. And I thank you for taking time out of your night. I took time out of mine to spend this time with me and just kind of hear some ideas that I have and how I'm growing my business continuously. You know, you get to Ambassador Diamond, you don't stop. Like, there's a black diamond now. I have to hit black diamond. So, you know, you're just constantly working and achieving your next goal. So no matter if you are a distributor or an executive or a Ruby or wherever you're at in this company, you have a goal. You have your next goal that you want to accomplish, and that's why you're on tonight. And so I thank you guys for spending your time with me. I'm excited to be here with all of you. So, okay, so Stephanie, my story,
Yeah, I don't know that a lot of our team really even knows you that well. You know, I mean, like, knows your story, what you were like before this business.
Yeah.
Why you joined, and kind of what it's done for your family, where it's brought you, and just a little about you. You don't have, not your whole life.
No, it's so hard. I think sometimes to wrap it up all in words, like, okay, so take me back to, let's go back further. I went to college to get my degree in teaching, and I wanted to teach kids. I taught swimming lessons in the summer, that was my deal. That was what I did, and met a lot of friends that way. And then I continued through college. I joined a sorority, and then met a lot of friends through college. Okay, so then after that, I'm telling my life history because it does mean something when I get to that. And then when I graduated college, I started teaching for a school district. I'm from Iowa originally, but I moved to Kansas City and accepted a job at a school district on the northern end of Kansas City. And then I found out about this crazy rap thing. So I saw it on Facebook. Raise your hand if any of you saw it on Facebook for your very first time. Quite a bit. Yes, like so many of us. So I actually had taken a part-time position at our local church to be the student ministry director, the children's ministry director. And so I was basically, I was a paid position. Paid by a church means very, very minimal. But, I loved every bit of income that I could get, but I wasn't doing it for the income at that point. I loved my church. I loved the people. And I was helping people come in and lead ministry. Like, I had a passion for that. So I'd met a family along the way when I was leading ministry, and that was Lori Conway. Lori Conway is a big deal with It Works. She's right now the #7 money earner. And she was a family that walked in to our church, and she had kids in the children's ministry. And I got to know her. And like anybody would do, in these social days, you friend them on Facebook. So I started to see her post, and I was like, well, I've had 2 babies, and this down here doesn't look like it used to. And so I thought, if this really would work, I'm willing to spend $25. That's it. $25 on this product, because I was total skeptic. And I'm sure most of you guys were when you started too, like, or the first time you tried a wrap. So she invited me over to wrap, and I look back now and I'm like, I can't believe I went. I hardly knew this mom, but there was something in me that like just kind of pushed me to go. I was excited that there was a chance that my stomach could change thanks to this body wrap that I'd never heard of. Crazy, right? And she was super excited about it. When she messaged me back, like literally all these capital letters and exclamation points, I'm like, well, this mom clearly loves this product, so I'm going to give it a shot. So I went to her house, didn't know her that well, and I lifted up my shirt for her, and I was like, all right, go ahead and do it, whatever you're going to do. And she wrapped me. And I went home that night, and I looked at my husband, and I was like, I spent $25 today on a body wrap. He was like, okay. I'm like, and I don't know if it worked. Like, I was honestly a little scared at this point. I didn't know. It was one wrap. I hadn't seen my picture. She made me take a before picture. She made me take an after picture in 45 minutes. And then I was responsible for the after picture in 72 hours. And so I was a little nervous as this thing was not going to work, right? And maybe all of us have been there. Maybe you haven't. Maybe your first wrap was absolutely amazing in 45 minutes. But my 45-minute before and after wasn't enough to be like, sold, I love it, right? So my 72 hours was up. I drank the water. I did everything she told me to do. And she put my pictures side by side, and I saw it. I saw a difference. And I was so stinking excited. Like, this body wrap that I did not think was going to work really, really worked. And so she started to throw out to me, like, I'm sure you're going to want to continue your treatment. And I love these words, and I continue to use them. And so if you're going to write anything down tonight, this is something that I've learned from Lori that I continuously have done for my business. After I wrap somebody, I'm like, you're going to want to continue your treatment because the treatment is for. And I think it's important that we give that information out to them. So she said that, and I was like, you're right, I do. Like, this is crazy. I can see it already, but I want more, right? We're not going to just stop with that. She said, so there's a couple ways that you can do that. You can become a loyal customer for $59 to get a box of wraps, and you get a full treatment with that. Or for $40 more, you can become a distributor. That's all I heard. $40 more. So I was like, I want that box of wraps, but I want the commissions. And so for me, it was a win-win. I was like, okay, $99 is a lot for a family. I was a teacher. My husband was an HR manager for an advertising agency. So we both graduated from college. We had degrees, but we were spending every single penny that we were making a month. So we were bringing in an okay income, but we were not spending wisely. We had credit card debt. I had student loan debt. We had bought a nice house, but we were seriously that couple that was living paycheck to paycheck. And at the end of the month, at the end of the paycheck, we were stressing out. We were fighting. We were arguing. It was not comfortable for us. And so for us to spend $99, or for me to spend $99, was a risk. It was an investment. But when she told me $40 more to continue my treatment, and I could sell those wraps, so I could use some for myself or I could sell them, like, something inside of me was excited about this opportunity. I'm like, okay, I didn't need to know what she was making necessarily. I didn't need to know what everybody else was making. I was like, I think I could sell a few of these. My goal literally was $200, $300 a month. And so I think when majority of the people we talk to, that's going to be their goal. They're not thinking, they don't need to hear the Ambassador Diamond story or the Black Diamond story. They need to hear $200 to $300 a month. And that is what is registering with them. That's what excites them. Like, okay, if I could do this part-time and I could make that is what's going to change their life to them. And that was me. And so I said yes to this opportunity. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea who was going to be my customers or my distributors. And I literally let the excitement push me and move me. And I started talking about it when I went to school, the people across the hall, people down the hall, the people in the lounge area, the teachers always hang out, and then I called my sister and I was like, all right, girl, you're going to be a distributor. It's going to be $99. She's like, Liz, I don't have $99. I'm like, just do it. We're doing this together. I needed like a buddy, right? My sponsor was already doing well. She was my buddy. She was my sponsor, but I needed a buddy. I needed to reach out to somebody and have somebody work like my pace, my speed, side by side. I was a distributor. I wanted to find another distributor that we could promote together. And so, like, maybe some of you are on the Zoom tonight and you have not signed a distributor yet. And I don't know if there is or not. I don't know your organization that well. But if you haven't signed a distributor, that's what you need, because that's going to push you. That's going to grow you. You need to sign that first distributor that you guys can work together. It could be a best friend. It could be a sister. It could be an aunt. It could be, or an aunt, or whatever you say. It could be a neighbors, but somebody that you can work side by side and challenge each other to promote. And so when I worked hard to promote to executive and then to Ruby, I wanted to make sure I was like, it was almost like a competition with my sister, but a very friendly one. We were constantly like asking each other, like, okay, so I don't know the answer to this. Do you know it? I was working probably closer with my sister than I was with my sponsor at the time, because we were at the same playing field. We were at the same level. And so, okay, let's say you're on the Zoom tonight and you have questions, like, who do you go to? Do you go to your sponsor? That's awesome. Because when I sign people up, I want them to come to me. But I get it, because I was in that place once, and I go to sidelines. I go to people that are at the same rank as me. If I was a distributor, I was talking to other distributors and asking questions. it is motivating, it's energizing, and you guys are almost working together one-on-one, trying to promote through the ranks. And so that's what I encourage you. Find a sideline, find somebody that's going to push you along, and you'll kind of push each other along. And so that's what Lindsay and I did. So, it went fairly fast. Not the fastest it's ever went. I know Ashley Sinclair promoted to Ambassador Diamond in 8 months. And when I heard that, I'm like, there's no way. Like, how did she even do it? But I felt like 16 months was quick. We were super busy, and I was working full time, you guys, the entire way. I was a teacher the full time. I did not leave. Okay, so I left my job at the school district the end of May, which was the exact same date that I promoted to Ambassador Diamond. So I worked full time. And I don't know if there's any teachers on this Zoom, but we spend more than 8 hours, or at least I did, because you don't only go home at night, but you're planning for the next day. And I was doing lesson plans, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do there. And I had kids. I had 2 kids at the time. And I was a wife. I was trying to be a good wife at the time. And well, I still try to be a good wife. I wasn't saying just at the time, all the time, right? But no, like, it was just busy. And I know we all are busy. We all have crazy things going on. And I love the mamas with the kids on the Zoom. I think that is just like so precious. Mine are hopefully going to bed with my husband tonight. So over there in the other room, and I'm going to try to be really quiet, because I know the minute I walk out that door, they're going to hear my voice. But so yeah, like, I just think that it was all an energy and a momentum and the speed of our team, the speed of me, and led the speed of our team, because I was super excited about what I was doing, and we just continued to promote. We followed chart to chart to chart. And, if you gotta figure out that charting thing, like that was a whole new ball game for me in the beginning, but printing out that Ruby chart and then filling in those names in those boxes, and then printing out that emerald chart, and then doing that same thing, and filling it out in pencil, and putting their volume at the top of the box, and what do they need, and staying on top of it. I think that organizational piece, I am not a green personality, if you know your personality colors, but I had to stay on top of the business because we were all moving at such a fast pace. I had to chart my personally enrolled distributors. I had to I had to also know where they're going. So if they had a question for me, like, where should I place this person? I had to be there for them. And so I think that keeping those charts in organized fashion really helped push our team as fast as we grew. It did. Like, we were in constant communication, constant messaging. How are you doing? What are you doing this month? Accountability, I think, is huge. So we worked through those charts. And in May of 2013, I went Ambassador Diamond, which was crazy. I was the 16th Ambassador Diamond with It Works Global, and I did it in 16 months. And so that was wild, because I went out and there was I think there's over 100 Ambassador Diamonds maybe right now. So it's crazy how much it's grown. And so I think, like, looking at that to me is like, man, momentum is now. Like, the speed is now. People are growing so fast that if you can do it now. Working for me, the business. Am I echoing? I feel like it's me. I don't know what it is.
Liz, I think you're muted. Sorry, I think Shannon just made you a co-host. So if there's echoing, I think you just need to mute all, and then it'll fix that. But you're still muted right now.
Right. Here, I went.
Oh, there you go.
I'm good.
Sorry.
All right. No, I'm good. I kept hearing, like, the background noise, and I didn't know if it was something I was doing. So, okay, so kind of lost my train of thought, but I will get back on. So anyways,
I think it was starting to echo when you were just talking about, like, the urgency and just kind of like going
momentum of the team.
Momentum. And,
yeah. Yep. So yeah, I definitely think that you are all in a really good spot right now, because things are growing really fast. And so when you put your mind to it and you just very condensed, very short and sweet. And I would say, have you thought about the business? Have you thought about making extra commissions? Have you tried the wrap? I mean, that is literally all I said. And I would send that out to like people, you know, on Facebook, you have your friends list on the side. I would go through that. I still do this because I am constantly trying to add new friends to my Facebook. So I'm going to kind of switch gears here for a minute because I started off by telling you my story about, you know, I went to college, I joined a sorority, I worked as a swimming instructor in the summers. And so at that time, I didn't know it, but I was building a network. I was building people within my history that I knew or I became friends with during that time. And so when I started this business, if I was not friends with those people, I would go back and I would friend request them because I was like, you know what? Now is the time to go back and make that connection again. So I would go back to my history, like whether it was the sorority or whether it was high school or whether it was student council or 4-H or whatever it was. And I would start friend requesting those people, building that network. Those are people I already know. They already know me. But some of us start out with a very small friends list. And I don't know if you feel like that you're in that spot where you feel like you need to build a friends list. And I feel like I'm there. Like I have worked the people, I've messaged the people that are in my Facebook, and I feel like I'm in the spot where I need to build a bigger network. I need to add more Facebook friends. I need to talk to more people. And so I think the key to this, to moving from where I'm at to moving to that next step, so wherever you are, if you feel stuck or if you feel like, you know, you've messaged everybody and you're getting some no's, totally normal. We'll go back to that. No's are the game. Like it is part of the puzzle. It is what we get. You're going to get 8 no's before you get a yes, or whatever it may be. I would message all those people. But right now, like when I was trying to build my network, I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to leave the house. I'm trying to, back to my story a little bit. I'm kind of going all over the place here. But Gabe and I are both now full-time family. When I left my job after I was done teaching and I went ambassador, Gabe also went full-time It Works as well. So we have been full-time It Works family for 3 years now. And so we are at home most of the days if we're not traveling somewhere. And so it is harder for us to meet new people if we are not like, you know, strategic with it. I have to try new exercise places, and I go to the park with my kids, the city park, and try to talk to other moms, and go to the library and reading books or checking out books and trying to make conversation. Target, Walmart, the grocery store, all of those places, I have to be open and social to meet new people, to hand them my Blitz card or ask them, hey, I have my Facebook link on my Blitz card. And so sometimes I blitz without talking about the product. I'll just say, I would love to connect with you on Facebook. Let me give you my card and add me on Facebook, and maybe we can connect there. Something so normal in today's world is to connect on Facebook. You don't even have to be great friends to connect on Facebook. And so when I hand a Blitz card, I'll just say, hey, I hope we can connect on Facebook. That would be great to, you know, kind of keep up with you and see your pictures and stuff. And people friend me all the time from that, whether it's the grocery store or Target or Walmart or wherever it is, the park. And so I am trying to thoughtfully now build my friends list on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever social media site that you're on. Because just, you know, walking up to somebody sometimes and saying, hey, can I wrap you, is uncomfortable. It is for me anyways. And so I had to come up with this thoughtful way to build my network. And for me, it's easier to have my Facebook link on my Blitz cards and just ask to become their Facebook friend or ask them to friend request me so we can connect there. And I make conversation. I think that's the hardest part of this all, is you're having to initiate conversation, and that's uncomfortable. It is, but that is what's going to grow your network and grow your business. So I've done that. We've done that now the past 4 years. And yeah, we are a stay-at-home family. Within 3 years of the business, we made $1 million with It Works, which is crazy to say out loud. Like, I never ever went into teaching to think that I was going to make $1 million. Like, that would have taken me 30 plus years to do that. I would have been after retirement, to do something like that. That was definitely not on my game plan when I started this business. I was out for $200 to $300 a month, like I told you. But, I just continued to work and help other people, meet new people, and share the product, share my excitement, share what this business has done for me. I had to get over myself many times because I was scared to message them. Like, I would close my eyes and press enter sometimes to send a message that I was scared to send. But I knew by doing that, it was going to better our family. I was doing this for us. I was doing this for the whys that we had and the goals that we had, is to pay off debt, to build a new house, I wanted to buy a camper. Like, it's like the little things, but I wanted to buy a camper so my kids could experience camping like I experienced when I was a kid. And I wanted a cleaning lady, and I wanted a chef, and I started to build up this list of things that I had dreamed for, that we wanted that debt paid off that was hanging over our shoulders. We wanted that non-comfortable or that uncomfortable moment at the end of the month of when we were arguing and not able to pay all of our bills, and were we going to be able to buy extra groceries, or were we going to be able to travel? Probably not, because we don't have the money. Like, all of those things that stressed our marriage, thanks to It Works, we're gone. Like, we had this income after we worked hard and I put in the time and I put in the effort and the people. We've had this income that we have been so blessed by, and that it's allowed us to do so many things that we probably couldn't have done back in the day when I was teaching. And so it is definitely, I feel like, a gateway. It was a door that opened. It was an opportunity that arose, and I feel like it was there for a purpose. I totally believe that. I feel like God opened the path and led Lori into my light for me to say yes, for me to be able to run with it or not. And I'm telling you, you guys, there were definitely days that when I first started that I was like, what did I do? What did I spend money on? I don't know if I can do this. But those moments would come by and I would have to push them over and be like, I've got to do this. I've got to make this work. I'm going to give it my all, because then at least I can say I gave it my all. And each day I continue to coach myself. It's like that personal development. I'm like, you can do this. You can do more. You can help more people. You can help Stacy go Ruby. You can help Kristen go Emerald. You can help, I'm constantly working through my team and my people. Like, who can I help next? Because I want that for them. I want that for you guys. I want you guys on this Zoom to have and experience these things. And it is literally all in the power of you. It is a mindset, it is determination, and it's a daily discipline that you're going to have to adapt each and every day. You're going to have to commit to 30 to so minutes and say, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to work my It Works business. And for me, it was my laptop open and I was on the couch. That's where I work the best. And I know that about me. And so you got to find your groove. You got to find your place. And maybe it's your office. I'm in the office right now where I do my Zooms when it's nighttime, because I close the door and get all the silence out, all the noise. But during the day or at night, after the kids went to bed, most of the times it's my laptop on the couch, or I sometimes even take the laptop to bed because that's when I get the best work done. That's when I feel like my magic happens. That's when the words flow. That's when, all of that stuff begins to empower me to empower others. And so that's find your groove. That's my tip. Find your groove, find your time of the day that works best for you. If you're working, how many of you are working full time right now? I don't know if I can see all of you on this. Okay. There's quite a few of you. Yeah. And so, totally, that was me. I was working full time all the way to ambassador. And so my time was in the evenings. I did team stuff. We didn't have Zoom until recently, but we did team stuff. We had team calls, and I worked my business. After these kind of things, you guys, like I got off with this energy that I just started like rattling off these messages, and keeping it like short and sweet was my mojo. It was like, hey, I'm thinking about you, just saw your profile pic, or just saw your picture of your daughter, or so cute. Like I would start with a compliment, and then I'd say, have you thought about It Works? Have you seen any of my posts? What about you? I think sometimes if we blow it up and we go into too much detail and we're like, well, there's a loyal customer option, and that means a minimum of 3 months, and you can choose from any of our 40 products. And then there's a distributor. If you go into that, like they are going to read your message and take a long time to respond. So keep it short and sweet and to the point, and just very personable, like thinking about you. And I think you should do this with me. I think you would be awesome. I think it'd be fun. And just kind of leave it at that. That was a lot.
Okay, awesome. No, I love it. You like answered all the questions I was going to ask you, like just within your story.
Okay. That's good.
So you like kind of touched on it, but I think I know how I felt. Like I said, like I when I joined, like you were Ambassador Diamond. Like I watched you. I was like, how can I ever get to that point? Like Liz is this, and then like my business has grown now, and I can like I see like how things can. James he climbed out of his bed. But so like now that I'm like this far into it, I can really see the bigger picture. But in the beginning, it's like, wow, like she's ambassador. Like that's crazy. So far removed from me. Like how can I ever get there? And I think it seems like this pipe dream. And so maybe just to speaking a little bit about just how like, how really like anybody can do this. And then on kind of the flip side of all of that too is that I know you sort of touched on. So my other idea when I first joined of like Ambassador Diamonds was like, well, everybody says yes to them. Like, I'm sure they never hear no, and I'm sure they never struggle, and they never like, have everybody ignore their messages on Facebook. Cause I'm like posting all these things on Facebook and nobody's liking and commenting my pictures, but like Susan Wade gets like 100 comments on every picture she posts. And, so I remember thinking those things and thinking just, what am I, and so maybe just speaking to, like, I'm assuming now that you probably do hear no still all the time, and that is something you daily just work through. And like, what do you do daily to just keep yourself positive and pumped up, and just, knowing like I'm going to hear no? Like, do you, like, I know some people it's through prayer or through like watching just motivational, like pump up like videos on YouTube. But so how is it like, you're just a real person? How do you get through those struggles and hearing no, and just kind of that.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to what you said first. Like I started and I knew there were Ambassador Diamonds, but I didn't think of me that way. Like I think I thought of me as what my goal was. It was to hit $200 to $300 a month. And so I felt like I worked to that. That's what I was working for. And once I got there, I had to make a decision. Was I going to get complacent, or was I going to work harder to the next level? And that is all in you. That's all in me. That was, I never thought I would be Ambassador Diamond, but I didn't stop at where I was at, because I knew like, okay, well, if I got to Emerald, I know I only need that ruby to go Emerald for me to go diamond. And so I constantly like challenged myself and challenged my team that was below me, in my downline, to do those next things. And so, I think it is one step at a time. Like it is going to be, you are at the rank that you're at and you need to get to the next one. What are you going to do to get there? Like that is your goal. Don't overset it, because then you're going to feel discouraged and you're going to be disappointed. Because if you're like, I need that triple diamond income, like I need it right now, and you're an executive, like you can't jump that high, because you are going to feel disappointed. You are going to feel like let down that you are not triple diamond. But you have to think, if you're executive, you need to be ruby. That's it. You need to get ruby. What are you going to do to get ruby? How many more loyal customers do you need? How many more distributors do you need? And I think you take it literally one promotion and one step at a time. At least that's what I did, and it worked for me. And that's what I continue to coach others to do, because it is overwhelming, like overwhelming. If you constantly say, You need this when you're here. Totally. Yeah, as far as the whole nose thing, like, it's funny because I totally get no's all the time. Like, I will send a ton of messages out every day about people that I'm thinking of or people I'm following up with. And I still have a running hundreds list that people that have shown interest, but yet I haven't heard back from, or they haven't signed up as a loyal or a distributor. I either get no response. I get a lot more probably no response than I get a no. And then sometimes they're like, oh, I'm not ready, or maybe eventually. And they continue to be on my follow-up list. Like, I continually, and I'm not saying like crazy, I'm saying maybe once a month. I'm not going to be that girl that every 3 days. In the beginning, I feel like when they say that they're interested, it's like every few hours. If they're in communication back to me, then I'm constant. But then if I don't hear from them, I might give it a day, and then I'll be like, hadn't heard back from you, just checking in, wanted to touch base and see what you're thinking. I'm ready when you're ready, smiley face, like some of those kind of things. But then if I still don't hear back from them, then I give them a while. I write their name down. I put it on my calendar in my phone to check back in with Robin so-and-so, and I'll set an alert on my phone. So then I'll check back in when that date pops up, and I'll be like, hey, Robin, I haven't talked to you in over a month. Just thinking about you still. I know you would love this business, or I know that you're going to love these wraps, or whatever it may be. So yeah, I'm constantly doing the same thing that you guys are doing. I still am working the business every single day, and getting the no replies or the no's, if that's that. I've had a lot of family. Did you ask me something?
Sorry, I was about to, but then.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm like, stop talking. I was just going to say, like, you've been in the business for quite a while now, but do the no's, like, still, do you still have to pump yourself up every day, or maybe every few days, or how do you just stay positive through that? I mean, you have had a little bit more history, so maybe like, if I just keep pushing, I'm going to get that yes. But for kind of some of us more in the beginning, like, what should we be doing kind of just daily to just remind ourselves, like, yes, like, everybody hears no, everybody, like, I was going to ask you, like, so do people ever say, like, yes, I want to order right now, and then not get on an order? Or, like, all these things I hear all the time, and my distributors will message me, like, everybody's telling me yes, and then no one's ever ordering, or like they, they won't respond to me now, or, I'm not getting responses, and so it's like, I hear that stuff all the time too. So I try to, and I just love that you can share that too. Like, you're an ambassador, Diamond, you are one of the most successful people in this business, and you hear no, you have those struggles too. But, I think what probably sets some of the top earners like yourself apart from us is how you deal with that, like how you deal with those struggles, how you kind of overcome hearing the no's, and just, not letting that stop you, but kind of just pushing through it. So is there anything special that you do that just keeps you?
If I can get somebody on the phone, I feel like it is always easier to make the close. And so if they don't reply, I'll be like, hey, do you have a time next week that we can chat? Just, pick a day. Then they might not respond, but it is a constant. And I think I've just learned that. I've learned that whatever it is, like, I could tell like 15 of my friends that I fell in love with these pair of Toms, and they're so comfortable, but then they're not going to all go buy them. Right. So it is the same kind of thing. You're making a referral, you're excited about something, but the action is in their hands. I a lot of the time say, like, we can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You can't, it is all in timing on them. And I always constantly have to think that and tell myself that, like, timing is everything. So it might not be the right time for them, because it is totally timing. Like, if you would have presented me this opportunity 2 months prior to when it was, I don't know if I would have said yes. Like, it was everything that had came together for me that made me say yes to Sell It Works. And so I have to think that constantly when I message somebody. Timing isn't right for them. So maybe if they did sign up as a distributor right now, they wouldn't do anything anyways, and that's not fun. Like, like when you have somebody on your team that's not working and not doing anything, that's really hard. And so you just want timing to be right. And so I think I constantly remind myself that people are going to wait until the timing is right. And so, in part of my messages, I will say that to them, like, timing is everything. I am ready when you're ready. Like, that is totally one of my lines that I say a lot. I'm so excited for you. I think this totally could be the opportunity that would change things. But I know timing is everything. And so I am always putting it back on them. And I just can't, we can't take the no's for like, oh, they're saying no to us. No, I just have to trust that when they're ready, they're going to come back to me and they're not going to find somebody else. And I go on to my next person, because if we waste so much time on the one person that we think that we really want, but they're just constantly not responding or saying no or whatever it may be, we're wasting our time. Like, we could be on to these other 10 people that might say yes. And so I think I keep my focus there. Like, I could message 15 other people instead of trying on this one person that I thought was going to do it. So people come around, I told this story the other night on a Zoom, but I had a girl when I was teaching before I'd even started at work. She was student teaching across the hall from me. And then I started at work that same year. I had a wrap party in my room, and she came. She never wrapped, but she checked it out. She was like, oh, this is cool. And then she followed me on Facebook. We were Facebook friends. So for 4 years, she literally just signed up as a distributor, you guys, like within the last 30 days. 4 years later, she did not ever comment on a post. She never liked a post. She never even questioned the product, nothing. Like, she's getting ready to get married, and she needs money for a wedding. And she was like, oh, Liz, let me message her and let me start. She got her 4 loyal customers already. Like, she is like on it. So, like, that's a story that I look at and I'm like, okay, it wasn't me. It was her. It was timing for her. She needed something. She needed a wedding to plan, or a pregnancy, or, she needed bills to pay, or like, these people, as far as the distributorship, they need something as to why they want to do this. And so definitely the no's happen at no matter what level that you are. Like, I guarantee you those black diamonds are even having lots of no's still, or they're having lots of no responses. And it's just a constant, like, I'll have people even say that they're going to order and they're going to get on my website, and then I'm like checking my email and super excited. I'm like, oh yeah. And they never do it, And so then I go back and I look at my email, and it's not there, and it's not there. And I check back in with them, and they're like, oh, my next payday is not until the next month on the 15th. I'm like, okay, so I'll check back with you then. It is literally the name of the game. It is part of the process. And it's them, it's not you, is what I can say to all of you, because it is definitely timing on their part. What else you got for me?
That's amazing. You are welcome to share any, last words of wisdom with us. Otherwise, we can just kind of open for maybe just a few questions from people. It's all been awesome for me. I'm like taking notes over here too, although he keeps stealing my pen. But feel free, you guys. It's like 10 o'clock at night. When is this 2-year-old doing awake?
They don't have school tomorrow.
Yeah. You can write your questions in the little chat box, or, just unmute yourself and ask. I'm going to mute myself because James is really loud, and you guys can just ask away.
Hey there, it's Noelle.
Hi, Noelle.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
I have a question for you. I kind of have 2 questions, but I'll pick this one first. How do you work your Instagram?
Yeah, good question. I'm a beginner. I'm a total beginner. So I feel like Instagram is fancier than Facebook, if that makes sense. Like, from what I see and who I follow. And so I feel like I have to be more creative sometimes when I post my pictures. So I'm definitely a beginner at Instagram, and I can't say I've honestly signed a whole lot of people. I've had lots of conversations with people going through, but it has not been my moneymaker for me anyways. But, I think sometimes from what I've heard, the people that are working Instagram are on it a lot, and I don't devote that amount of time. So you're constantly liking and commenting and developing those relationships because they're strangers. It's our cold market. It's a lot of the times people that we don't know. So it takes a lot of time to invest in them through Instagram. And so, I do go back and forth, and I do comment and and I post. I try to make a good balance of the personal post and then the business post, and not try to overwhelm the business. I think the Instagram accounts that are rap related tend to get more shied away from than those that kind of have a balance between real life stuff and it work stuff. And so I've been very mindful of that, I think. But not yet. And maybe that's just because I'm not that good at it yet. So I'm still learning. That's like Snapchat. I haven't figured it out yet.
Right. Yeah, no. What do you say to the people that are constantly asking you, how they want to invest their business? There's a lot of people that come at us who want to be our friends, who we think want to be our friends, who talk to us about Selling It Works, and then they're really about stealing our customers or stealing all of our information on some of these pages.
Yikes.
I've run into this a few times, and I don't understand how do I associate with other MLM builders or no? Do you know any of that?
Are you talking about Instagram still? Or both?
No, Facebook too. There's a lot of people that come at you at Facebook who say that they also build a business, or they try to teach you about, the mailman code and all this other stuff.
Well, make sure on Facebook your friends list is hidden. They shouldn't have access. Facebook, they should not have any access to any of your contacts or any of your information, really, unless it's something that you're wanting to be public. Instagram, they do have access, and that's just kind of how Instagram works, is that everybody has access to everybody's friend list. And so I don't, sorry, Liz, I'm sort of speaking, but
go ahead. Yeah.
I don't friend anyone, I don't accept friend requests or anything from any other It Works distributors. And honestly, not even very many of other MLM companies, some maybe, but if they're blatantly working their business on their Instagram page, I'll just delete them because they're probably going to be looking for more leads and stuff too. But Facebook, I feel is real. I've never had anything like that happen on Facebook because I keep everything pretty private. I don't know, Liz, do you have
a business page on Facebook? Do you have problems there?
Well, I have two. Well, I have two personal accounts because my husband's still active duty military. So there's a lot of, I guess, feeling like I can't really open up and be too public on that. I don't really want to share my pictures of my kids. Unless you're a really good friend, then you're on my actual account. But as far as the business page goes, I have a business page, although I haven't really opened it up yet, but I have it. Yeah. And then I have my second account, which I post a lot of Facebook stuff, and I have a lot of different friends there, but nobody I actually know.
Yeah. Well, I think if that situation arises, I would block them. If they're trying to come at your friends list, or they're trying to promote you towards their business or whatever they want to do, that's not it. I'm not interested.
Right.
I'm going to focus all of my time in this business and my team. So, like Stephanie said, with the whole Instagram account, if somebody follows me and I notice their whole page is filled with another MLM, I'm not interested. So I don't even let them follow me. I kind of keep that private and keep it kind of closed up is what I do.
And can you actually unfollow? Can you block people on Instagram?
Yep.
Oh, I haven't figured that out yet. Okay, I'll have to go in and do some research on that then.
Yeah, you totally can.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
So I just saw a comment from Kim about that she doesn't have any distributors yet. And she has 28 days left to go Ruby. And I think you're a perfect person to ask about that. Because I do have a lot of new distributors who think oh gosh, Ruby is too far off, or how am I going to get that Ruby bonus? And I think you join, and then maybe they do hear a few no's in the beginning, and then they're I'm never going to get this in 2 months. So you I still think about, I remember I asked you at one team meeting, like how quickly in the beginning you were like building diamonds. And didn't you say like every like 5 weeks you were like, or 4 to 5 weeks, you were like building like a new diamond on your team basically, right?
Yeah. It was great.
So what do you say to these new distributors who, maybe have reached out to some people and they're just feeling that kind of crunch of like, I only have a month left. How do I go Ruby in 1 month? Like, what would you do?
I went Ruby my first month. I joined the business. I was scared for the first probably week and a half. And then I decided, okay, I was going to really do this and went Ruby at the end of that month. But it took a lot of messaging. I think that you just reach out to more people and you keep it short and sweet, and it's a one-on-one message. A daily Facebook post is good. And it might pique people's interest, but they are not necessarily going to reach out to you. So I think what I realized is what it was going to take for me to build it faster than what it was going was for me to start reaching out one-on-one to people. And so I would have to message like 20 people. I mean, I don't want to scare y'all, but I was messaging probably 20 plus people a night. And it was, it could have been a copy and paste, but it was like, hey girl, just thinking about you. I think you'd be awesome at this. Have you seen any of my It Works photos or posts? I would love to have you on my team. What do you think? Like something totally short and sweet, something that ending it with a question so that they would respond and give me, it's always going to be an excuse at first, and you can't stop there. They're going to say, I've thought about it. I just don't know if it's for me. You can't be like, okay, I'll ask you again later. Like, no, you don't stop there. You have to have a comeback. You have to be like, I do think it's for you. I didn't think it was for me either. Or, I think you could be great at this. Do you know 4 friends that would enjoy a wrap or would want a wrap? Or do you know anybody that wants to make extra commissions or extra income, I guess is what we should say. Because I feel like I'm constantly running into people that could use this in their life. And so I think that it's not high pressure, but you don't end with it. They say they're going to always come back with an excuse the first time. I don't think you end it there. You keep the conversation going. You keep it positive. You keep it excited. You use lots of exclamation marks. You use smiley faces and even bold words because I think it shows. If they see you in person and you can like talk with your hands and they can see you smile about this product and this opportunity, it's going to be different. But if you're working majority off of your Facebook or even Instagram, you're going to have to show that in other ways. How are you going to show that you're excited and passionate about this business in a message? How is your message going to come across different than somebody that's selling something else and they message them too? So I think it is the way we come across it. It's the bold letters, it's the emojis that we choose. It's the excitement, it's the green hearts, and it's the passion for this business. And so, Kim, you can do it. Like, you can totally do this. You have 28 days and just message people one-on-one and just tell them, like, you know what, you're doing it and they can do it with you. And let's make money together because they can't, you guys are going to be at the same level, same playing field. You are a little further ahead because hoping you have your 4 loyal customers almost already. But, it's just that next step of, I think people sometimes they can do the 4 loyal customers, but then they get scared to ask distributors. It's like, it's a change in lingo that we get nervous about. And really all it is just saying, do you want to make money with me? Because I'm going to make money in this company, or I'm going to make money with this. Let's do it together. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be thought out, or the compensation plan or the 15% off loyal customers, or you don't have to go into any of that. It is just, Kim got what? 16 LCs. Dang, Kim, you can sign distributors. That is insane. You go back to those 16 people and you say, I know you've already tried the product. I want you to make money with me. Let's do it together. What do you think? End it with a question and put smiley faces in bold. I know they're going to sign up because that's awesome. If you can sell 16 loyal customers, totally. If you can sign 4 loyal customers, you guys, then you can sign a distributor. It is a mindset and it's a change in wording. But it's, you're going to make money with me. I'm going to make money. You signed up to make money. You guys wouldn't be on this Zoom and you wouldn't be a distributor if you didn't sign up to make money. You signed up to make money, so why not sign them up to make money too? You're just getting paid off of their orders. Why not let them get paid? it is just as a better deal. It's a better deal. So they're getting the discount, they're getting bonuses, they're getting commissions, and they just have to share it with a few people. I think sometimes people get into it thinking like, okay, even if I can just come out ahead and get my product, tell your LCs that, Kim, if they can get their product paid for each month just by referring it to a few people, would they do it? I bet they say yes. So it's a mindset. It's coming up and getting brave and asking it. Yeah.
And then what do you say to people when they say they just don't have the money to join? Like, if, you know, we all hear that one too. Like, oh, I just don't have the $99, or it's going to be like 3 months until I have, you know, just what do you say? What's just your common, like, do you have kind of a cut and dried answer when they say that?
Yep, I say I didn't either. Like, I didn't think I did either, but I made it work, and I'm so glad that I did. Because a lot of the times people have it, they don't want to spend it on something that they're skeptical of. That's all it is. We go to Walmart and spend over $100, and I come home and I'm like, what did I just buy? I have no idea what's in my cart. You know, people can spend $100 very easily when they go somewhere like Walmart or Target or wherever they go. So they do have it, or they sell something from like a swap shop page. They go to their basement and they dig some things out and they sell it. It is how bad they want the opportunity to work. But I always take it back to me and I say, you know, I didn't have it either at the time. I didn't think I had it, but I did it, and I was scared. If you can sell 4 wraps, if they can sell 4 wraps, if they know 4 people that want to tighten, firm their bellies, then they can totally do this and make their money back right away. I never, ever, ever say, I never loan them the money. I never say that you can pay me back. I don't ever want to get you guys in that situation. I would never want to be in that situation either. But sometimes what I will do, if they are local to me, and if they sign up, if they enroll, and I can give them a box of my 4 wraps, and I'll say, go sell these right now. When your box of wraps come in, then I want you to give that back to me. And so that way they can make their 25, 25, 25, 25 back right away. That's if they're close and if they're local. But I make them sign up first, because you just don't know. You know, you want them to do it. So that was good. Good question. It got me all excited. What else? I think Kim's going to be Ruby.
I know. I know. Any other last questions?
Oh, here's one. What's the best way to talk people into trying a wrap? I find it more difficult to talk about wraps than the other products. The wrap is our signature product. Like, the wrap is like, it works. That is where it all began. That's where it all started. And so I think you need a wrap again. I think you need a before and after picture. I think you need to believe in the wrap so much that you want to go out and share it with everyone. And so whether that takes 4 or 8 or 16 or whatever it takes for you, wrap until you find your before and after that you feel so good about that you want to share. Because I think that's what it will take for you to feel so confident about the wrap. Or have a loyal customer send you their results from wrapping, somebody that's wrapped, and be able to share those products, because it's the excitement behind it. It is literally our signature product that nobody else has. And I think that's what sets us apart. That's why I lead with the wrap every single time. Whether it is a loyal customer or a distributor, I always lead with the wrap because it does set us apart. There's other health and wellness companies out there, but we It Works had the wrap. And I think that is what makes us unique and different and so special, because no one else can do that. Oh, I don't know that question.
Okay, let me see.
Yay, good. Good job, Beth.
Yeah, Australia. No, you can definitely order the apparel to Australia. It ships all over. So it's 10. And I know, so it's getting kind of late, and we've had Liz's time for a long time now. So I think I'm going to cut off the questions. If you guys have more pressing questions, post them on our team page or message like Shanna, myself, one of the leaders, and we can, maybe reach out to Liz if there's like a pressing question that you were just dying to ask and didn't get to. But Liz, thank you so much. Seriously, like just so grateful that, because we know how busy, I mean, you're an ambassador diamond, you're a mom, like we just know how busy you are and your time is precious. And we are so grateful that you took this time to just chat with us. And I'm so glad that our kind of new teammates, you know, got to meet you and get to know you a little bit better. And, you know, maybe who aren't local, we have so many non-local people, so they, I'm sure, have never had an opportunity to meet you yet. So just so grateful for you and your wisdom and tips, and hopefully, I know you've inspired a lot of people here tonight. So thank you.
Well, you know what, you guys, I'm super excited for this team. I know, I mean, I can see in my e-suite, your volume is amazing and you guys are really doing things. So I just know that you have great leadership. You have great leaders ahead of you. Follow their momentum, follow in their footsteps, because you can't go wrong with that. And work it every day. Set daily disciplines for yourself to work this business every day. And you guys will see, I will see you at the top. It's crazy. I love it. But thanks for having me, you guys, Stephanie and Shayna. And I just appreciate you all so much. So thank you all.
Thank you, Liz. Now, we are doing a team drawing. Our teammates probably knew about this, but I hadn't told you. So we're going to do like a contest drawing. So Liz, you don't feel like you have to stick around, but our team, we're going to stay on just for a few more minutes and do this drawing. So
awesome. All right. Well, peace out.
Thank you so much. Bye. Okay. Yay. You guys, I'm so excited that she was on. She's so amazing. Okay. So let me see. I know we need to get, Shanna, did you get my message? Or I can do it really quick. Okay, so I have the names. I'm going to see if everybody's on here. I have the names of the three people that we drew. Okay, there's so many people on tonight. I'm just going to like call your names. Oh, where's my paper? James was seriously into all my, he was like writing on all my papers while she was talking. And he broke my sunglasses, and he like climbed out of his crib 3 times. And so, you know, it's just one of those nights. And of course, it's the one night that like Liz Barton was speaking to us. So, okay, so. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys. Okay, the first person. Yes. Okay, the first person I drew was Carrie Stringer. So I don't know if she's on. If you are, unmute yourself quick and let me know, because there's so many people on. I'm so sorry, you guys. Here, can you look at it down here, baby?
I know the next person's not on.
What? Actually, here, Shanna, I'm just gonna message you really quick. Can you? Because James is like super fussy right now. Can you?
Yes. Okay. No, I have it already. Okay. So first one, Carrie Stringer. And then the second one is Mackenzie Russell. I don't think she's on here. But then the third one is Maria Ruiz, right? Serena, right? Okay. And I know she's on there. I can see her. So you're one of our winners. So you're definitely on. Good work. I know Mackenzie is doing the same thing Stephanie is, and she is putting her kids to sleep. Okay, so I am going to, I don't have the wheel set up though. Do you have it set up, Stephanie? Otherwise I can real quick. Or we can just do it.
No, and I was going to say, you're still recording, so, I mean.
Oh, okay.